Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Downtown Tempe Streetscape Improvements Project on Mill Avenue Merchants Meeting for June. My name is Mark Weber. I'm the city engineer for the city of Tempe, filling in for Josh Warren, who's the main city contact for the project out there from the city. I'm going to give a brief project overview, and then we're going to hand off the presentation to Casey with Aiken Gardner, who's our contractor on the project. Next slide. Quick overview. All right, so project scope includes new sidewalk and ADA improvements with expanded pedestrian space on the corners of all the intersections, University all the way up to Rio. New sidewalk pavers, historic markers, litho mosaics on each of the corners, infrastructure upgrades that includes electrical and irrigation throughout the project. Some new bus shelters, new trees, and landscaping. This is the first refresh in 40 years of the project area. Casey can take it from here.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Casey Peary. I'm the project manager for Aiken Gardner Construction. We're the contractor working out there right now. Next slide, Morgan. So the first couple slides here, I'll go over some of the project progress that we've made over the last year or so, and then I'll get into our schedule, and then we'll talk a little bit more about contact information on the project and stuff like that. I'll hand it over to Allie afterwards. Phase one, this was the intersection of University Drive and Mill Avenue. As you can see there, we removed the existing pavers that were in the roadway and installed some freshly paved asphalt, restriped the intersection, and installed new sidewalk ramps. On the north side, those gray bricks that you can see on the bottom picture would be the ones up at the top half of the picture. That's what the new bump outs are going to look like at each of the intersections. It'll include the gray brick. So that's kind of what it'll look like as we move our way north onto Mill Avenue. Next slide. So concrete banding, this is going along each of the patio limits, as well as up against each of the buildings. This is a couple sample pictures. This is over at Pita Jungle. As you can see, there's a 2-foot band that delineates the patios from the new brick along the Mill Avenue corridor. Phase two was the section from University Drive to 7th Street on both the east and west sidewalks. Within this portion, we installed new streetlight pole foundations, improved the project to meet ADA requirements, installed those concrete delineation bands that I showed on the previous slide, and obviously installed new sidewalk brick. Phase three is really everything north from 7th Street north. The first area that we started on was 7th Street to 6th Street on the east and west side. That area is completed now. As you can see, we installed new sidewalk brick in there. There's new tree grates that went in. There's new trees that were planted in there, as well as hardscape and landscape upgrades. So this is just more as we're moving north on Mill Ave. Phase three, again, everything from 7th Street to the north, 6th Street to 5th Street, east and west sides. We've completed the demo of the existing sidewalk brick, and we're installing new electrical and irrigation upgrades. They run in a 2-foot band that runs along the curb line, basically all the way from University Drive up to Rio Salado. So in this stretch, we've completed the demo and removal, and we're currently working on getting the electrical conduit and irrigation piping in through there. 5th Street to 4th Street, kind of a similar situation. We've completed the demo, and actually in this area, I believe we've got all the conduit in, conduit and irrigation. So kind of similar situation. Next slide. 4th Street to Rio Salado. There's been quite a bit more action in this area. We've completed the demo of the existing brick, and installation of the electrical and irrigation upgrades. We've installed new streetlight pole foundations in this area. And on the east side, all the brick is back in. On the west side, we're currently working on pouring the base and should have the brick in on that side before the end of the month. So 7th Street bump outs. This is on the west side of 7th Street. We've completed the demo of the existing ramps. And as we'll get into the slides here, we're looking to ramp up over the summer and start building the actual bump outs. That's those gray brick areas that I had showed on the first couple slides. So talk schedule. As I mentioned before, phase 1 was the intersection of University Drive and Mill Ave. That was completed in August of last year. Phase 2 was the section in between from 7th Street to University. That started in late August as phase 1 was finishing and was finished in late January. Phase 3, I'd kind of already gone over this on some of the pictures, but 7th Street to 6th Street, we'd completed March 2025, 4th to 3rd, and 3rd to 2nd, 2nd to Rio. East side is, for the most part, done. West side should be wrapping up towards the end of this month. So our plan over the summer months here, starting Monday, if you don't know already, southbound Mill Ave will be closed to vehicular traffic starting on Monday, June 16th, and that'll run until August 8th. And the reasoning for that is to it'll allow us to construct the sidewalk ramps and bump outs on the west side of Mill Ave really hot and heavy over these next 6 weeks. We'd be doing the northwest and southwest corner of 7th Street, which has been demoed already. All 4 corners at 6th Street will be constructed over these next 6 weeks, and the northwest and southwest corners of 5th Street. And as you can see in the graphic there on the right side, that's kind of what the flow, the green checked line that you can see there, that's kind of the flow of pedestrian traffic. We'll have them up on the sidewalk for the area in between 5th Street and 6th Street and 6th Street and 7th Street. But we'll be constructing the median work within the roadway and basically all the ramps on the west side. This is our work hours over the next several weeks. Daytime hours are 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's when most of our shift work will be done. Nighttime hours will be 2 a.m. to 10 a.m. and it'll be kind of a mix between both shifts. You'll see a lot of activity out there, especially on the west side of Mill Ave. We'll also have some nighttime work for anywhere near the tracks or out in the roadway. As I had mentioned before, we'll have some median island work that'll be taking place. That'll be taking place from 7 p.m. to 5 a.m.
One question for you, Casey, before I get on to communication would be weekend work. Would you touch on weekend work?
Absolutely. Sorry, I did kind of gloss by that. Yes, we are planning to work Saturdays for the next, not this weekend, but for the 5 weeks after that, we will be working on Saturday during the daytime for the next 5 weeks.
Thanks. Communication is, as communication has been, weekly merchant newsletter sent by me, and then the city refresh page as well. You can view the past meeting recordings. All of these meetings are up on there, as well as the presentations themselves that you can flip through without our voices going over it. The targeted communications, anytime or construction is going to be in front of a new store or going to a new place, construction is trying to get out there before that and communicate with whoever is in store, leaving information behind for anyone else. So we ask that you spread that news to all employees and all regular patrons that you may have at your business so that they're aware of what to expect when they come downtown, and can make the most out of it, especially as things reach their final form or I guess not their final form, but the most of the form, I guess, in this summer. So things as usual, there is some short-term food and retail pickup reserved now on 5th Street as well, but 6th Street and 7th Streets. I'm going to touch on parking in a little bit because there's some transitionings happening there, but I'm going to try to keep those food and retail pickup zones accessible for anyone, any business that needs it. We're also doing one-on-one meetings if that's something that you desire. If you need more information, feel free to reach out to anyone on the communications page that is coming up. And some signage that we will have out and have had out for the duration of the project. Anywhere where we need mid-access blocks accessible, that is able to be accommodated as well. But I think that is all for this slide. This is the bit that I will touch on for parking. Tempe Trip is a new mobile device. It's just a web page really, but it will be really helpful for any business or any customer coming into the downtown over this summer and then going forward for the rest of parking activity in downtown. This is, it'll show real-time parking, how full garages are, how full street parking is, where you can find the best garage. It also can show you, you can directly map yourself to that location. So I've heard some businesses say that it's been working really well for them. They'll send that out to their customers. They'll promote it on their social media as the best way to figure out how to get downtown in general, but also as construction is confusing and infuriating for most people, this can help ease that pain. There is a marketing kit link down in there, but that can also be found in my newsletter as well. And then parking meters in general, we're going through a transition in the downtown. They were just pay by space meters before, and they are turning into multi-space meter technology, which will enhance the streetscape and make it easier for people to park and for enforcement to do their jobs as well. So that will reduce street parking momentarily until we get the multi-space meters up and running. Signage is going out as soon as possible. But in the meantime, the Park mobile app that is still always used for parking is the best way to direct people to park in the downtown in metered spots. So Park mobile app, same as always, it is either an app or you can use it off the web as well, and it will auto-populate your location and you can pay for parking that way. So that is new and transitioning this month and next month. If you have questions on that, I'll also put more in the newsletter on that one. And then just adding in some free parking opportunities. I know it's always nice to point people who are just coming in for a pickup or whatever it is, to not have to pay for parking if it's just for a small portion of time that they'll be down here. So those opportunities are also down there listed at the bottom.
All right, back to me to wrap up. So this is the communication information for the project team. Aiken Gardner, these are the main guys on the project. They're here every day, working hard to try to get the project done. Allie's listed here, and then Josh's contact information and Morgan's contact information are on the slide for everybody. So if you have any questions after the meeting, please contact somebody on our team, and we'd be more than happy to talk through whatever your questions are. And with that, we will open it up to questions.
It looks like we have a question from Troy first, and then a question from Moonshadow. So Troy, feel free to come off mute, or if you want to type into the chat, I'd be happy to read it aloud.
Can you all hear me?
Yes, sir.
I had a lot of questions, but all your slides seem to answer most of them. According to everything that I saw in your slides, after August 8th, when you're going to open up the streets, what percentage would you say is going to be left of construction that you'll need to do during the school year?
Casey, you want to take a venture to guess at that one?
I would say between 30 to 35% would be remaining. We would get a really large portion of the construction done over these summer months.
So basically from like 4th Street to University, would you say after that August 8th date, would you anticipate all the sidewalks being open and we're not going to have barricades for guests to have to deal with to enter in and out of shops, bars, and restaurants?
Well, we'll still have barricades out between 4th Street and University. We'll still have the mid-block work, which is the work in between the intersections.
Okay.
From 4th to 5th and 5th to 6th, and then we'll have the east corners at 5th and at 7th
Okay.
remaining.
And do you know if there's any plan, like is any of that stuff going to be in the way when we have like 4 to 5 really busy days of kids and their families moving into school, or any of like our home football games where people are going to be, you know, here for a weekend, maybe out on a game day weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Are there any plans for you guys to have to kind of button up anything so stuff's not in the way, or you don't really feel the stuff that's going to be out there is really going to be hindering any of our business?
We definitely will still have barricades out, but we are going to do our best. We understand the event schedule. We've got a list of all the events and all the things that we need to be looking out for over the next year, really. We've got a pretty detailed list from Ally and from the city. So we're definitely mindful of that. And we are going to do everything we can to minimize the impact on the businesses and those events during that time.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep.
Alrighty, Moonshadow, if you want to ask your questions, feel free to come off mute.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So to be clear, Mill Avenue going south is going to be closed from University to 5th Street, but from 5th Street to Rio Salado will be open?
Correct.
Okay. And then I'm not clear, Casey, what the schedule is for the west side between 4th and 5th Street in front of the Mill Avenue shops. You kind of seem to skip that block on the schedule. So if we could have some clarity, what you think is going to be happening there?
You're on the west side, correct? From 4th Street, between 4th Street and 5th Street.
Yes, sir.
That area would be, I'm looking at our schedule now, between 4th Street and 5th Street. That will be happening in the fall. Like I said, we've got the piece up against the curb line has been removed. But our plan to come back and do the rest of the sidewalk, that won't take place until September, October is what it's looking like on our schedule after the summer push here.
Okay, so during the summer push, it's going to look the way it does now, and no work will be done there on that block? Everything is...
I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, that's okay. You didn't cut me off. So
we do have work in between. So within the median, we've got work that needs to take place over the summer months. And then we've got the 2 ramps on the west side of 5th Street in that area will be going on during the summer months.
okay, so in front of my building, it's going to look the way it does now until the fall, when then you start to do more work there.
That's correct.
That's correct. Okay. And, okay. All right. I guess that's all. I don't think that'll make, I guess we thought that there was going to be more work done in front of our chunk of our building between 4th and 5th Street before the fall. But if it's not on the schedule, it's not. Thank you.
Just to mention, Casey, you have the 4th Street closure just June 16th, 17th, and 18th. That's coming up, that crosswalk closure on the west side.
Yes, that'll be to get our irrigation across the road.
Just wanted to call that out, that
Sorry.
that is
Yep.
upcoming.
Okay.
Any other questions? Any other questions from anyone? I'll check the chat.
I have a quick question. This is Ferris from Fosh Cafe and Bistro on 6th Street. Is there going to be, I don't know if I missed it, I got logged out. Is there going to be any construction on 6th Street past the 8th?
We won't have anything actually on 6th Street. And the idea is to get all the corners done by the 8th. That's our ultimate goal, is to have all 4 of those corners at 6th Street done by August 8th.
Okay.
But we don't have anything on actual 6th Street itself.
Okay, that's good. But, and then you're fairly confident you'll be able to open up the streets on the 8th? There's not going to be any delays?
Southbound?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, we have to be. We have to have it open by the 8th, yes.
Okay.
Quick question to butt in, the 6th Street work, it's not going to be actually on the east side or the west side in 6th Street, but those corners will create a closure of 6th Street onto Mill Avenue, correct, Casey?
That's correct. On the east and west sides, that's correct. Yep, because we'll be working on all 4 corners at the same time.
Okay, great.
All right, we have a question from telephone 602-300-3410. Feel free to answer or ask your question. It looks like you lowered your hand, so maybe you don't have a question anymore, but if you do, feel free to raise it again. Barbara, go ahead. Oh, I think we hear you actually. Go ahead, 602.
Sorry. Hi. My name's Wade, and I'm also with Fosh Cafe. My question is there any negotiations being done with ASU for the Brickyard as far as our parking? I definitely appreciate what you are doing with the parking for downtown Tempe, but with us in the Brickyard, we are a part of ASU, and that is kind of tricky for us, being, we are a very small business. Is there anything being talked about with ASU as far as helping us with our parking?
So do you mean for the closures or for the app that Ali was talking about and the parking meters?
Off our front. It closes off our front parking. So
Yeah.
for our
Yeah.
our underground garage, is there any incentive that we can offer, or because that is ASU, correct?
That is correct. When we had to close down the Brickyard the last time, and I'm getting an email out to JC today, so he'll make sure everyone's notified that parks there. In terms of incentive, I don't believe so, but Mark, maybe you have more information.
There's quite a few neighbors that we have. We have Jersey Mike's, we have Casa. I mean, there's quite a few of us there. It's not just Fosh that I'm speaking for, but
Yeah,
Right.
there's not really anything.
no. Okay. Cool. Thank you.
We will make sure that parkers are notified though. And if you have a specific email or something that you would like me to send the notification to get that out to your staff, I'd be happy to do that.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Barbara, go ahead.
Thank you. Casey, you mentioned that after August 8th, you would still have about 30 to 35% to go. And I know you mentioned some median work. What percentage would you say that you're complete now, just so we have an idea of what maybe 30% looks like?
We're probably about 30 to 35% complete now. So we would be completing a very significant percentage over here over these next 6 weeks.
Okay, I just wanted to kind of understand the scope of it. So thank you.
Mhm.
Right, I don't see any other raised hands, but if anyone would like to ask a question, feel free to come off mute or type in the chat.
I had one more question.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Oh, okay.
It's
Oh, you go first, man. You go ahead.
Go ahead.
So you had mentioned that you're going to be working on all four corners of 6th Street during this summer stretch of time. Is that going to affect like people that are trying to get to Casa? If southbound traffic is closed, but northbound traffic is open?
Yeah, so they'll have
So-
to access from either the east or west side from 7th or 5th, and then down
Okay.
the sidewalk, existing sidewalks.
Okay, so by foot, basically.
Yeah,
Okay.
or if they park at, the Brickyard parking garage, they can come in from the east.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right, well, I'll go forward to the contact list. If you take a picture of that, we'll get this posted to the website with the recording. Thank you all for joining and presenting, and you know where to find us. Oh, Allie, looks like you have a question, maybe? Go for it.
I actually think Sam dropped something in the chat
Oh,
from
yep.
Slickables. So an update on the east corner of 7th Street, when that is scheduled tentatively, I'm assuming he's wondering.
So our plan is to get in there on the east side and start those corners right after the west side ramps are done. So it'd be right after August. Right in August.
Thank you, Allie, for catching that. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Hope you have a lovely afternoon and reach out if you have any questions. Have a great day.
Thank
Bye.
you.